Yeah, President Biden also taking credit for news that broke earlier today of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas.
However, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hasn't confirmed the deal, saying the details are still being figured out. So here's what we know of that ceasefire deal. So far, it is expected to go into effect this Sunday. It comes in a 3-phase plan, according to mediators. Phase 1 is a 6-week halt to fighting, with negotiations to end the war beginning. 33 hostages will be released as well. Humanitarian aid will surge in the Gaza Strip, and troop withdrawal from densely populated areas will begin. Now, phase 2 isn't fully laid out yet, but it's expected that it will include the release of all living hostages. Negotiations on phase 2 won't begin until phase 1 is underway.
We spoke with Senator Jeff Merkley this morning, who was still being briefed on the details of that potential ceasefire. He said he hopes for a permanent ceasefire, but acknowledged if this war is truly over, the next steps are complicated.
The infrastructure in Gaza is massively destroyed. If you're talking about internet or phone or electricity or shelter or food or any form of employment, etc. I mean, everything's destroyed. The aid workers I've talked to who have been in Gaza said they've been in the worst hellholes in the world, and this is far worse. Anything they've ever seen. So that is going to be a big challenge. The thing that I have stressed with our nominee for Secretary of State is we need to break this cycle of war and hate.
Merkley's goal is for the U.S. to help lay the path for a Palestinian state.
We have community members here who have family in Gaza, in the tunnels, and we have community members here who were affected by the violent events of October 7th. So to see some relief at the end of this is a wonderful, it's a gift.
Eugene's local Jewish community breathing a sigh of relief today after that potential ceasefire deal was announced this morning. Now, according to the Jewish Federation of Lane County, there are local community members with family members who have been hostages in Gaza for 15 months now. The Federation says the October 7th attack triggered intergenerational trauma among many Jews who largely grew up learning about the often deadly consequences of anti-Semitism.
It's hard to see that kind of stuff, especially when you're just in pain from something that happened to you and your people very, very far away. And so I think to have those two issues kind of confused and this old evil of anti-Semitism kind of be surface was really hard to live through, especially when we're a group of people that are quite simply in pain.
Now, since the conflict began, there has been a historic spike in anti-Semitism in communities across the nation. Federation also says the death toll in Gaza and Israel has been staggering, and they want everyone to be given the space to heal. Now, a defendant in one of the trials related to the pro-Palestine I-5 blockade protests that happened in April shared a statement with us. It reads in part, "I'm proud to have stood up for the Palestinians on April 15th. None of us are free until we are all free."